Hey mamas, you are listening to the Motherhood is Ghetto podcast. We all know motherhood can be a beautiful thing, but girl, it can also be ghetto. Join me as we discuss some of the best and worst parts of being a mom raising kids, all while trying to figure out this thing called life. This ghetto is a safe space, mamas. So welcome to the hood. Hey mamas, welcome back to another episode of Motherhood is Ghetto. My name is Joy, and how y'all doing out there? If y'all doing all right, you already know what to say. Say amen. I pray you are having a great day and a great week so far. And whenever this episode finds you, amen. This episode is being brought to you in the midst of spring break. The kids are out on spring break this week. So I worked for a couple of days out the week. So our spring break is just kind of getting started. So we have some activities planned today. And I decided that for spring break, like we were just going to keep it really low key, not do nothing fancy, not go on a trip or anything like that. We're just going to do things in and around town. And it was coincidental because I saw something on Instagram where it was like it was this mom and she was like normalize not taking your kids on trips every time they're out of school. And I was like, you know what, girl? You're smart because it definitely is expensive, especially traveling with multiple kids. And we don't got time for that. We don't if you do got time for it and the funds for it, amen. Do you. But yeah, right now I'm in like saving mode because for my daughter's sweet 16, which is next year. It's like 1 year almost to the T next year. She wants to go to Hawaii. And so I'm saving for that. And then also too, just like my normal saving, like saving to build up my emergency fund. So yeah. We're keeping it really low key for spring break. We probably will keep it low key for the rest of this year. So if we do go anywhere, it will be like quick trips like to neighboring states, like maybe California, like for a beach day or something, or Arizona to visit my brother. But yeah, everything else is going to be in and around town. So yeah. And I hope that you guys are having a great spring break with the kiddies. And once me and my kids get into our spring break shenanigans, then I will be sure to post on Instagram. So if you're not following me already, you can follow me on Instagram at motherhood underscore is ghetto. You can keep up with me and the kids there, all that good stuff. And I'll post pictures and reels and stuff of our spring break. Um, and speaking of keeping up with me and keeping up with the show, episode 100 is out right now. I didn't do any clips or reels of that episode because I had such a hard time with the audio. It was the first time that I had like recorded with another person in the same room with two microphones. So like our microphones were feeding off of each other and I had to do some editing gymnastics to try to get it to where it sounds like on the platforms. And I would have had to do that same thing for every clip that I edited. So I didn't want to do that. So there's no previews or anything on episode 100, but episode 100 is out right now. So if you haven't listened to episode 100, if you want to, you could stop this episode. Amen. And watch episode 100. Um, and in that episode, I interviewed my mom. asked her some questions. We talked about some things, and it was really fun having her on the podcast. So I hope to do that again. I think the next time I'll do that is with my kids. I'll get them on with me. And yeah, we're gonna have a good time. But with all that being said, mamas, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for tuning in today. So today's topic, we're gonna be talking about letting go and locking in. So two quintessential phrases that I know that you've heard before, and I've heard before too. But I think right now more than ever is a good time for us to let go and lock in. And when I say that, I mean like whatever type of life or what you envision for yourself or for your kids. If you've ever had like any like self-limiting belief, self-doubts, people telling you that you can't, you never will, and that includes yourself too. If you tell yourself that you'll never be able to provide this for your kids, or you'll never be able to live a life like that you envision for yourself and that you dream for yourself, we need to let that go, whatever it is. Because what I've come to learn and what I am learning right now is that the only person that's putting limits on what I can do, when I can do it, how I can do it, and what life will look like for me is me. There's nobody else that's here telling me that I can't do anything or I won't do anything. It's me. And even if you're in a place where you do have someone who's like talking down on every dream and aspiration and goal that you have, you still have a choice. You still have a choice to believe that person, listen to that person, or not. So when it comes to letting go, I feel like it's important for us to let go of the things, one, that don't serve us and don't just serve our family, and two, let go of whatever is holding us back from being able to at least like take steps towards the life that we want. And I feel like I'm specifically talking about the life that we want. I'm not necessarily, it can apply like to goals and stuff or things that you want to accomplish, but I'm talking about like the overall way that you see your life and how you desire your life to play out and how you desire it to be as the years go on. Because I think a lot about that. I think a lot about what my life will look like here in the next 5 years. And when my kids get older, like what will I be doing in my life at that moment? And I just don't I don't want to look back and have a whole bunch of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Also, too, I don't want to wait to start living until my kids are older. Like, I want to live now. I want to do the things and experience the things that I want to do right now. So, for me, when it comes to the first step, letting go, I have to I have to ground myself in exactly like what it is that I want from my life and how I want my life to look. And then I have to just shed everything, every negative thought, every negative situation, scenario. And that could also mean people too. Like if there's anyone that's keeping me from the life that I desire to have for myself or for my kids, and they have to go. So, and I know for a lot of us, letting go is huge, especially when we've had like different traumas and stuff that have happened within our lives, and those feelings and those emotions can be very hard to let go. Like if you spent your whole entire life having someone tell you, that you ain't shit, you're never going to be shit, like just things like that, like that's hard to let go of, and I get it, but it still shouldn't stop you. So if your first step is getting therapy or healing, like you start a healing journey, just so that way you can get over that hurdle, then that's what needs to happen. Um, but like I was saying, for me, letting go is just coming to know and understand exactly what I want my life to look like, and then cutting out everything that's counterproductive to that or doesn't serve it at all. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. And for me, a lot of it is just letting go of things that just don't have anything to do with me. Um, Not letting everyone else's problem become my problem, and really focusing on what it is that I want and not putting it on the back burner, not putting myself on the back burner. And again, like I'm a work in progress, so I'm also talking to myself, like I'm preaching to myself, but I'm also preaching to you too. Amen. So not putting myself last and putting myself first in every space, every aspect, because the life that I'm chasing is worth every ounce of effort and intention that I could put into it. Like it's worth it. And I don't want to compromise or sacrifice that for anyone. So letting go could look different for everyone, but that's the first step. Like we need to let go. And the one thing that I could think of, like as like most recently, where like I just had to let go and just follow my heart, was when I bought my house. Because when I first got it in my mind that I wanted to buy my house, I was in no way, shape, or form ready to be a homeowner. So I had to get ready. And I spent 2 years learning things that I had never learned before, changing my habits, changing my behaviors, changing my mindset, and letting go of those thoughts like, oh, I'll never be able to buy a home because my credit's so bad. I don't make enough money. I can never afford a mortgage. Like I'm gonna be a renter my whole life because it's the cheapest. Um, Maybe I can buy a house when the kids get older, and it's just me and I can get a smaller place. Like that doesn't cost that much. All those thoughts race through my head, and especially the major one was like, girl, you like a homeowner, what are you talking about? You ain't no homeowner. Like you don't deserve to be a homeowner. Like that weighed heavily on me, but those were things that I had to let go, and I just had to press forward. So my biggest hurdle, which was my financial hurdle, like I just did something every day to improve it, to learn and to change like my money habits and my spending habits and stuff like that. Um, I just let it go, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna entertain those thoughts anymore. I'm just gonna press forward. And of course, like sometimes it would creep up, and especially when I had setbacks. So I mean that's a given for anything. But the main thing is to keep pressing forward and not to give up. and you just have to let go of those things. You just got to pray about it or shake it off and keep moving. And then one last thing I'll say about letting go when it comes to people, mamas, like I'm a very firm believer in protecting peace, and preserving peace. Um but when it comes to people and people who don't support you in your vision and your dreams, or not even support you, like they don't pay no never mind to it, like you talk about it, they don't say nothing, they're not encouraging, nothing like that. um you have to let them go, even if it's like even if it's temporary, or it may end up being forever, but you have to let them go because they're only holding you back, they're only slowing you down. And I'm at the point in my life right now where I only want people in my life who are going to encourage me, who are going to push me to be better. Because if I'm not trying to be better, then what am I doing? Like, what are we talking about? Why am I doing this if not to be better than I was yesterday? So, those are the type of people that I need in my life. And luckily for me, I have really awesome kids who are like that too. Like my son tells me all the time, he's like, Mom, you need to lock in. And it could be for anything. We could be playing Uno and I could be losing and he's like, Mom, lock in. Like I'm like, you right. You're right, I'm gonna lock in. Um, but I'm lucky in that aspect because my kids won't let me fail either. And my kids like won't let me be out here like get caught lacking out here. So surround yourself with people that want to see you do well and want to see you do good. um and if you don't have that village yet, that's okay, because it's very much okay to go within yourself and ground yourself and find that level of energy where you can be the one like to give yourself those pep talks and encourage yourself until you find your village and your people. I really definitely feel like that's important for sure. And for those of you where it's really hard to let someone go or distance yourself from someone, just I would say then just set boundaries. Set some clear, strong boundaries between you and that person. So if they have to be in your life and you can't like, let them go, then set boundaries. Don't talk about your dreams and aspirations with that person. Like you don't have to. Don't share any wins with them because obviously they don't deserve to know like what you got going on anyway if they don't care enough to support you or give you encouragement. So just don't share with them. If they absolutely have to be in your life, then set that boundary and stick to it. Because you're only doing yourself a disservice if you keep people around you that don't care about you and your dreams and your desires. Like that's you, like that makes up a part of you. So if they don't care about that, then they really don't care about you, and you shouldn't entertain it anyway. Amen. Like come on, what are we talking about? um but second part is locking in. And when I say lock in, mamas, like I mean like whatever it is that you're chasing, the life that you want for your kids and for yourself, I need you to want it so bad. Like I want you to want it and feel like you need it so bad, like it has to happen tomorrow. Like there's no excuses. There like you gotta want it like there is no tomorrow. Amen. You guys ever see any of the Rocky movies? And in Rocky 4, I believe, when Rocky is training to fight the Russian and Apollo is or is it Rocky 4? I don't know. Hopefully my brother is watching this and he can correct me if I'm wrong. But I think it might be Rocky 3 or 2. Listen, I don't know. Amen. But there's one of the Rockies where he's training with Apollo Creed, and Apollo is pushing him. Like he's pushing Rocky to his limits. And um so at one point Rocky gets ready to tap out. And he's like, and Apollo's like, "What are you doing, man? Like, we still got work to do." And he's like, "No." He's like, "Tomorrow, tomorrow." And Apollo says, "There is no tomorrow. Like, there is no tomorrow. Like, you have to want this now because tomorrow's not here and tomorrow is not promised to anyone. So you got to want it and fight for it like it is no tomorrow. Like, it needs to happen now because you might not get a chance later. So you need to lock in." um I was talking to one of my coworkers. He's actually like one of my employees, and I was telling him about my podcast and like where I want to take it and where I want to go. And he was asking me like, "Well, what platforms do you use?" And I was like, "I only use Instagram." I said I have Facebook, but I really hate Facebook. I really want to like deactivate my account because I just hate Facebook. I don't know. I got I don't know why. I just hate Facebook. Um and he was like, "Well, do you have a TikTok?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Well, that's your problem right there." He said, "You need another platform where you can like hook people on short form content." And he's like, "You just need to spit out short form content like every chance you get, like to get your audience like bought in to whatever your podcast is about, and you can find your audience." And yeah, he said, "But that's gonna really help you." Um and before he we finished our conversation, he was like, "Yeah, you just need to lock in." And I'm like, I keep hearing that. Like, I keep hearing that everywhere. People keep telling me, I keep hearing it everywhere. And it's like, I'm going to tell you guys the same thing because it's being told to me like, lock in. Okay. Let go and lock in. No matter what it takes, you deserve the life that you envision for yourself. Your kids deserve the life that you envision for them. So now is the time, mamas. There's no other time. There's nothing we gotta wait for. There's nobody we gotta wait for. The time is now to let go and lock in. Let go of everything and everyone that deters you from doing what's necessary to achieve the life that you want. And lock in on whatever needs to happen for you to get there. And for me, this podcast is really special to me and it's really important, and I want it to do good and I want it to grow and flourish because ultimately I want this to be like my jump off and my stepping stone into public speaking, motivational speaking. Like I can clearly see myself on stages talking to a room full of women about transforming their lives, like coming from like crazy situations or crazy circumstances, locking in on their visions, their goals and their dreams, and coming out the other side with everything that they prayed for. And I'm getting my testimonies together, amen, because I've just come a long way. And I know that if I can do it, then anyone can do it. And I feel compelled to share my journey because there is a woman that's going through the same things that I'm going through. And I just want to connect with her, like whoever she is. So that's what I envision for myself. That's what I envision this podcast being. Um, and so I'm going for it. And this morning when I woke up, had my conversation with God, wrote in my journal, and when I got ready to pray, I was about to pray like in general. And normally when that happens, like I'll say something like um God, like I pray that I'm on the right path that leads to your will, and I want your will to be done. And all of a sudden I feel like God stopped me in my tracks and was just like, wait, before you start talking about my will, what is it specifically that you want? Like, what are you asking of me? And I was like, so that's a great question. So I got out my journal and I started writing like specifically what I want for my life and what I want it to look like, what I desire, the things that I want to be doing. And as soon as I was done writing it, it was like, I just felt like it was like, okay, good. Now pray for that. And if that is in my will, then it will happen. But pray for that. So, yeah, just lock in. Let go and lock in, y'all. That is the message for today. And I hope for every mom that's listening right now, I hope that one day you get to live the life that you envision for yourself, and your kids live the life that you envision for them, the life that you create for them. Amen. Because that's important too. Because making sure that our kids are brought up in an environment that's safe, that's encouraging, and that also encourages them to follow their dreams and create the life that they want is truly a blessing. And if you're able to do that in any capacity, then they're already set up for success. Like already. So lock in on that. If you want your kid to go to an Ivy League college, like, and you know that you want to be able to help them do that financially, lock in right now. Like, do it right now. They might be 5 years old right now. Oh, well, like, there's no better time than now. Like, there's no waiting. There is no tomorrow because tomorrow's not here. It don't exist. So now is the time to let go and lock in. Amen. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and land the plane here, mamas. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you are not already, please follow the podcast. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts. Also, too, we are on YouTube. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Watch all the videos. Amen. Because I'm looking to grow on YouTube specifically as well. And stay tuned. Your girl gonna have a TikTok soon, and gonna be and what I plan on doing is like running back like all the reels that I've ever posted on Instagram and run them back on TikTok, so that way I can get people's attention on other episodes. Because one day I was scrolling through my Instagram, just scrolling through old posts, and I was like, I was dropping gems, amen. Like, I was really like talking my shit. And I'm like, I feel like people need to hear it. Amen. So that's what I'm going to be working on, and that's what I'm going to be doing in addition to some other things, because I want to upgrade my equipment and upgrade my setting and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to be doing, but it brings me so much happiness and so much joy just to think of like just the little things that I want to do for my podcast and things that I want to talk about. So I just get super excited and geeked about it. But that's how it should be. Amen. That's how you should feel about the life that you want for yourself and the life that you're curating for you and your family. It should make you excited. It should make you feel like a kid. It should give you butterflies, all that stuff. So please, mamas, please, 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 I beg of you, let go and lock in. With that being said, mamas, thank you so much for tuning in today. Please don't forget to share this episode with another mom that you think would find it helpful. And until next time, mamas. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. Don't forget to follow the podcast and share with anyone who you think may enjoy it. And follow me on Instagram at motherhood_ghetto. Also, feel free to DM me if you have any experiences, opinions, or views on motherhood you'd like me to share on the podcast. Until next time, mamas.